YouTube, we're back. It's been a long time, I feel like, since I've been able to do a podcast with my boy Harry, and it's finally happening again. I mean, we were waiting. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to do the podcast earlier in the week, but our schedules weren't lining up. We were finally able to make it happen on a Friday night. So, Harry, first and foremost, shout out to you freeing up some time in your busy collegiate schedule for us. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing great. It's so great to be back on the podcast. I can't even remember the last time we even did a podcast, but it's been a while. I got back from the gym from a workout just now, so I'm pumped up, I'm ready to go. And yeah, no, it's great to be back. I think both of us, there's so much to talk about in this season 4, so I'm really excited to kind of dive into it, kind of get, see where you're thinking, see where my thoughts are at. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy. Like, Harry went to the gym to celebrate. I went and bought a new bottle of bourbon. So, cheers to Harry. I'm so excited that he's back.
There you
Before
go.
we get into,
While I'm working out, Jan is destroying his liver. You know what
that's
I
right.
mean?
Hey,
It's just
not
I'm
not
just
not
kidding.
not destroying. You know, I'm just getting it ready to be destroyed in the future. I'm enjoying my 30s with a little bourbon to celebrate that my podcasting buddy is back. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was for you to come back. Before we get into season 4, Harry and I decided that instead of really going in depth on season 3 and talking about our thoughts on it, we're gonna just kind of give it a grade. Harry, do you want to start? Would you like me to start? What's your preference?
Yeah, I know you definitely played more my team than I did in season 3, so if you want to top it off, and I think that will help me kind of get a good idea of where I'm at. So yeah, if you want to begin.
Sure. So for me, and I just want to make sure, yes, you guys can see my screen. I thought the best way to kind of go over season 3 and try to give like a bird's eye view of it, is for me to kind of talk about a few key points that happened in season 3. I want to talk about one thing that I really liked before I get to my letter grade, and it was one thing that I was actually very critical of, and I know Harry was also critical of, and that was the Pink Diamond Hakeem Olajuwon requirements needed. Um, Obviously it was a really really long grind no matter what way you look at it, but the clutch time offline grind was a lot of fun. It was very rewarding for me, because of the door mini game giving me sometimes double the mt that I got, because you play a game, you get 1200 mt, then you get another 10, or not 10, 1000 of 1500 mt. It really added up, for those of you that saw how much mt I had at the start versus how much I had at the end. I mean, obviously some MT I earned from, random miscellaneous exhibitions and stuff like that, but it added up. So I was a big fan of the Hakeem event, and I'm glad that we have another similar event in season 4, which we will touch on a little bit later. Um, a few things that I wasn't too crazy about. The season rewind, it is what it is. Not the biggest glitch that we had this season, unfortunately, in season 3. The Tis the Season event as a whole, I really didn't like it because 2K called it an event, most likely just because we had the opportunity to get free amethyst cards. I believe we topped out at amethyst cards. We never got free diamonds, I believe, which is a little frustrating. And then we had equal chance packs for all 5 collections that also topped off, I believe, at amethyst. So, it is what it is. Like, the Kobe Bryant card is really cool, the Wemby card is really cool, but it just didn't really feel like we had all that much to do until the week of, or the week before Christmas, when they started their holiday event, headlined by Patrick Ewing, who you could get for 50 presents. And then later on, the following week or so, we had the Diamond RJ Barrett, who was available for the same kind of reward card. If you took, instead of presents, we had fireworks. If you put 50 of those in, I believe you got RJ Barrett. I have both cards. They're fun cards. I also think they're fun cards because I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm biased. So I feel like the holiday event kind of saved it, but the Tis the Season event as a whole really sucked. I feel like when 2K says event, what they actually mean is opportunity to spend money, which is every single Friday. So that was really frustrating. I think the last thing I kind of want to leave off on, I believe, is the gauntlet. Let me see if there's anything else. The gauntlet for Lamar Odom was pretty trash. I did not really enjoy that they made, like, 12-0 coming back. I'm fine with, as someone who does not touch unlimited. But I did not love that we got Diamond Lamar Odom card that really wasn't good. I feel like our last good Gauntlet card was the first one in Diamond Chris Bosh, so that was pretty frustrating. And the last couple of things I want to leave, because I think these two things are actually really nice, and they kind of not save the mode, but it actually bumped my grade up a little bit. New Year's resolution gave us, I think, some fun cards. No cards that are top end, but I mentioned this in a previous video. I think for salary cap purposes, some of these lower tier cards like the Mitchell Robinson, the Kenyon Martin, these kind of cards, the Patrick Beverly, if you can Evo these cards, all their salary cap values are really low. I think the Mitchell Robinson is like 500. The Kenyon Martin I didn't check, but the Amethyst Patrick Beverly, who can dunk and play elite defense and shoot and play make, he's like 600 salary. So all really nice cards. And if you're grinding for the Diamond Jamal Murray, I think, is 150 assists in salary cap, you're gonna want to get these lower tier cards that can play make for you. So that's really nice. And then last thing, the Pink Diamond Chet Holmgren. I think that was a really nice W on 2K's part. I don't know if that was their make right, to use a Madden term, for the Paul George issue, which is the last thing I'm going to touch on actually. But it was a really nice thing for them to drop, because that Pink Diamond Check card, I was able to get him pretty quickly, and he's awesome. I think he's great. But again, the make right for the Paul George situation, I don't know how big of an issue this will be. I don't think 2K is going to do anything else. I thought 2K for sure was going to do something else besides wipe the MT, the liquid MT remaining on the accounts of players who participated in that issue. I think it's totally fine. I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue, because, you know, in a month from now, the top end players are not going to include, the Diamond Paul George, maybe even the Pink Diamond Kobe Bryant. So overall, I would say my letter grade for the season for me would probably be, oh, and we got that domination, which I didn't play because I'm saving it for this season. I'd probably give the season, it's tough because I have to sort of remove my expectations for the season and kind of just give it a grade based off of previous seasons. I'd have to probably give it a B or a B minus. I think it would have been better if we had more content to grind during the Tista season event. It would have been better if we had gotten better season pass rewards, as I've mentioned. Getting a trash player for every level was really not great, and I'm glad we're going back to seasons 1 and 2 style of battle pass or season pass for this season 4. So I'll give it a B minus, we'll say. B minus, I think, is a pretty safe grade. Harry, what about you?
Okay, so if I were to sort of sum up the season in one word from my perspective, for me personally, it would be bipolar, because I felt very bipolar this season. I mean, the season started off with Amethyst rewards for each game mode, and that was a big letdown. It was because Amethysts were already dead in season 1, I felt like, let alone season 3. There was no reason no, there were diamonds, right? Sorry. What were we grinding for? I don't even know what we
I
were
think
grinding
they
for.
were amethyst, Harry. No, it's amethyst. Remember we
Okay,
had, like,
yes, I'm not.
yeah.
Yes, it's so dumb to even, like, the whole concept is so dumb that I'm even second guessing myself. So yeah, so I was already bummed out about that, and then they brought in the Hakeem and KG grind, which I didn't successfully complete any of them since I was kind of on and off with season 4 or season 3. But that bumped me up, because I said, "Wow, I love the idea that unless you have all the time in the world, you really have to pick one or the other that you like." So I thought that
Yeah.
was cool, that you have your idea, you get to pick. It's not, you get both, you pick which one you want based on what your needs are on MyTeam, and then you can do it. So, and it was very rewarding to do clutch time offline, even though I didn't get the 500 wins. I did make a lot of MT from doing that. So
Yep.
then that was great, and I was already super high on MyTeam. And then the Kobe set thing came out, and that not only just broke me down, but it really made me like second guess why I even want to play MyTeam, because for me, like, Jan and I were both big Kobe fans. Like, I remember texting with him when Kobe passed, and just how sad we were.
Yeah.
So I always love using Kobe on 2K. I'm a huge Kobe fan. Even today, like, I love watching his interviews and stuff like that. I find him super inspirational, and the fact that I really wanted him on my team, and he was so expensive because of these so many lock-ins, and that really made me realize where this is going for 2K. That yes, we might be able to get the B plus, or not, I don't want to say mid, but the the solid diamonds or pink diamonds in the player market, the more expensive and the higher people like KD, LeBron, Curry,
Yeah.
Kobe, these are all players that you're gonna have to do so many lock-ins where you have to spend millions and millions of MT. Like Kobe, this grind was not accessible for someone who is not either playing every day, all day, or spending so much money. So that really broke me down. So it made me like I stopped playing like even clutch time around that because it was depressing that I wanted this card and I saw that this is where 2K was. This was the direction they were going with, and then later on when they started actually adding decent diamond players in the player market that were very affordable, like Devin Booker, who I got, and D-Rob, and all these players. Then I started getting a little more into it because I said, okay, at least we can use our MT to buy very good players that will make an impact on our team. Still depressing that we won't be able to get guys like Kobe off the player market, but I'll take my small W. But I think that's where the player market is, where there are no budget cards. You're not going to get a Ruby for 30, 40K, but getting a Diamond Booker for 200K that might have gone for 500K or something like that in the auction house, that's going to be the W that you're going to get out of it. So then I was a little high. I was feeling good. Okay, it's bringing me back. Then the New Year's thing came out, or not the New Year's, the what is it? What it wasn't the New Year's. What came out first?
What,
Was
the
it? Oh, it was the
holiday event?
Christmas, the holiday event. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was super happy about that. I'm a Knicks fan, so I was super hyped to get a Patrick Ewing. I thought it was really great how I mean it was a good ratio. I thought where you play your games, you can get presents. I don't think it was that crazy where like you're playing games and you're getting collectibles. Like I thought you had a fairly good chance of getting a gift or a Cole or whatever it was. So I was excited for the Patrick Ewing and then the Christmas event, and they're giving us an RJ Barrett. I was super happy for that. And then boom, bipolar hit again. RJ left my Knicks. I was sad about RJ, and this card became meaningless to me. I was happy to get him, but listen, that's kind of sad. But yeah, so overall, lots of ups and downs. I'm still kind of iffy towards 2K. The whole Kobe thing was really like an eye opener to me, like where this game is heading. I think it's good that even pink diamonds now are only going to be going for like what, not even 300K in the player market. I forget the exact
No, I
price,
think
but
I mean, what's interesting is actually as of today they dropped the value I think of pink diamonds. Pink diamonds I think were 262K, but I think on 2KDB, if you take a look, the pink diamond Steph Curry is actually going for like a hair over 200K, I think.
right, so it's very weird where I guess these like solid cards that you can buy are a lot cheaper than they ever would be in the auction house. But it's going to be very hard to get some of these amazing players that you want on your team, like a LeBron, like a Kobe, like a KD on the player market. So I think that's depressing.
Yeah.
I think what I don't like honestly, and we'll talk about this in season 4. We like we have no idea what still we're in season 4 and we have no idea where this player market is going.
Yeah.
Every week is a new thing that is completely different and we're just learning as we go. So there's a lot of ups and downs naturally, and I feel like 2K hasn't done a good job of letting us know that what can we expect, this is how things will be. So it's like the Kobe thing was weird, and now we can get Curry and T-Mac in the player market. The whole thing is weird. There's no it's just I don't even know. I think we really won't fully get everything until the end of 2K, and that's when we can really walk away and kind of assess the player market.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
this is a weird year, and I think season 3 was a weird season because they were releasing pink diamonds, and we were getting more diamonds in the player market. So lots of ups and downs. So, but overall, if I were to give it a grade, um. A C plus, maybe a B. I think even though I did have a lot of downs, I thought the New Year's and the holiday event was pretty good. For 2K, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought the KG and Hakeem grind was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool. So maybe I'll give it a B. I think it could have been. I think the Kobe and also the Kobe grind. I think that could have been better. Even if it's gonna be so much MT, the fact that when 2K had the opportunity to give us free cards, we were getting sapphires most of the time, or like really shitty cards where we easily could have gone an amethyst or a ruby. I think stuff like that could have been better. So yeah, I know I'm rambling a lot. I'm gonna give it a B. That's my solid. That's my final answer.
I like it. I like it. I like that. I feel like for the first time ever, I feel like on any one of our pods, I have a lower grade when it comes to something on my team than you do. I feel like it's always the other way around. So,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, also one more thing I'm gonna quickly add: the level grind was terrible. Yeah, maybe this will even bring down my grade, but the fact that every level we were getting a player, and it
Yep.
really didn't matter until the level 40 reward because the diamonds were terrible, the amethysts were terrible, and we were getting gold players for most of it. Terrible idea, terrible, just awful. So, yep, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I appreciate the idea that they were trying to put forth.
Yes,
I'm
yeah,
all for
yeah.
celebrating 25 years of 2K, but I think you could have made this a spotlight event and made the
Yep.
cards better. You could have done so many things. I feel like they implemented so many cards that the names were really not that great. They put in a couple of dynamic duos, and those really weren't all that great. And then even at the top end, I was complaining about those player items that we got, and I like the Jimmy Butler card. Harry actually does
Oh,
not like the Jimmy
yeah.
Butler.
Yeah, I'll say add one more thing. I don't like Butler in real life.
Yeah, me neither.
I
I
think he's
mean,
a terrible. I think he doesn't care at all. Like I can rant about Butler for. He's my least favorite player in the NBA. I despise him. So I
yeah.
didn't care about Butler. I really only cared about level 40 for a gold floor setter bat or whatever thing is for my player.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I had no reason to. I think that's why Jan for like the first time ever hit level 40 before I did, because all I really cared about was getting something from my player that even the people in park like hate on. They're like, why do we get this every season? It's so dumb. So like it was just like it took out the fun compared to previous years where I wanted the Kyrie. I wanted what was the Wilt. The Wilt was
Yeah.
cool. So it was like, you know what? Screw it. We're going C plus. We're going C plus.
See?
We're bringing it down.
Oh
There we
man,
go.
just to go below my B minus.
You just had to bring up Butler. That alone
I
would have
know.
made it a D in my
Honestly,
eyes.
me bringing up Butler and you only going down to a C plus is pretty impressive.
Oh,
So,
I hate that, man. All right, keep
all right. Well, I
going.
think we should jump into season 4 then. Because I think
Yeah.
there's a lot. Season 4 is the hot topic. Naturally, we're recording this now. It's currently 9:45 p.m. on day 1 of season 4, January the 12th, I think. I haven't really played much at all. I don't know how much Harry's played. Harry asked if we can just kind of briefly skim through the blog. I covered this already, obviously, on my YouTube video, but we're going to go through it, and I want to really just hear Harry's thoughts. We're going to go bit by bit, and I want to first start with, and I'm not going to show the blog on the screen. Instead, I'm going to show different things on my 2K screen, and I think, the first thing in the playbook update for Season 4 is the Pink Diamond Carmelo Anthony, who I actually did not open his pack for because I was waiting for Harry. Harry, I don't want you to ever doubt my dedication to you as a friend and to our podcast. I waited. I was home for hours. Well, not hours, like a couple hours. And I could have used this pink. I spent the $10 on this Pro Pass, and I left this Carmelo Anthony sitting in my unopened packs.
Wow.
Just for you, man.
Incredible.
As LeBron
Incredible.
said in 2016, this is for you. So I'm gonna open up this pack right here. I'm gonna ask you, Harry. I already know the answer to this. How do you feel about Pink Diamond Carmelo Anthony being the Pro Pass player for $10?
Okay, well, let me tell you, I was so unimpressed with, even though I gave it a C plus, I was so uninspired by my team last season. I almost thought, you know what? I don't even want to do the Pro Pass in season 4. I was like, I don't even like it's $10 and I can afford it, but I was like, you know what? I don't even want to give them money anymore. And they had to give me Carmelo, my favorite player. We went from Jimmy Schmuckler to the greatest small forward of all time, Carmelo Anthony. I was so happy. But I mean, I will say, come on. Carmelo Anthony broke the 3-point record in the All-Star game in 2014 when he was on the Knicks. He had 10 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And they give us a Nuggets All-Star game. Melo, he broke a record. Like, come on, what are we doing? So I don't know. That was a bummer to me. I just listen. As much as I love Mello, using a Nuggets Mello just always rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the stupid dreadlocks or what's going on. But
well, what's
I
crazy
just,
is this one's not even he doesn't have dreadlocks. He has like
I
he has the
didn't even
mellow
know that.
hair, the buzz cut.
All right. Honestly, I'm happy about that. I'll be honest, but that's kind of a screw up in its own. I'm sure there's some Nuggets fans that are disappointed in that. But yeah, Jan and I are big Knicks fans, so I think at Carmelo Knicks All-Star Game 2014, 10 3-pointer card would have been dope. But no, I'm super happy. I think this is the first Pro Pass reward that's actually like viable to play under. I mean, he's starting in my starting lineup. I mean, the AI last season I thought was fun. But like he's not gonna make any
No.
lineup that I'm doing. I can't even remember any other Pro Pass reward we've
Well, so
gotten
I
just
would
because.
say, just to argue, you need to look at the context, right? I think for his time when he came out, the Rubianis was very viable.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Fair. 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 What was
Yeah.
season 2 again?
Season two is Donovan Mitchell, who I think is still solid,
Eh.
but we get a 6'1" point guard who's an amethyst. Like, he's nothing special. He was nothing special when he came out. Because we just finished grinding level 40 for Kyrie. And yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Well.
Donovan can dunk, but I still want to use my Kyrie Irving. And I'm not gonna run
I
two
mean.
6'1" cards at my 1 and 2 spot.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, 2K sleeps with point guards under their pillows. I mean, they have them everywhere. So it
Yes.
was like they get point guard after point guard, doesn't matter. But Carmelo, incredible. It's funny, at first I texted Jan because at 2K will always kind of tell you what the players will be, but we don't know how you get them. So I was like, oh wow, Carmelo for the ultimate My Team reward for beating every game mode. I was happy about that, let alone spending $10. But there is a negative I have about this. We're gonna get into it, I think, once we get into the Curries and all that chaoticness. But I'm gonna save it. We're gonna get back to the Carmelo. We're gonna kind of scroll back to it. But yes, overall, I am happy. I think this is a good use. I'll put it like this. I'm happy because I love Melo, and I think this is a perfect. If you're like, spend the $10 if you have it, because you get a lot from it from the season, whatever the pass for each level. You get
Yes.
Carmelo. I think it's great. But there are some negatives, and I'll be unbiased for this. So let's come back to that a little bit later. So Jan, keep going.
All right, we'll come back to that. So the next major bullet point, and I just want to take a very quick second to say I'm not going to name names at all, and I just think it's hilarious that as somebody who I have always loved my team, from its early, since its iteration in 2K13 on, and then I stopped playing it after 2K17, but I've always loved the idea of my team, and I feel like after a couple of years, especially when 2K started to realize how greedy they could be and how they could take advantage of their player base financially, you start to see trends. Every single year in my team tends to rhyme, and you sort of get a feel for like when certain things are going to happen, like whether it's animation changes or certain tiers dropping. And the same thing can be applied to promos, especially promos when they try to like mention like, hey, we're gonna make this whole agenda grindable. And they did that with the Inferno promo. And there are certain content creators that came out on social media and on YouTube and wherever else, and they said, my team is saved after a lackluster season 3. We're getting a fully grindable set. And what did I say in my video yesterday? I said, I love this idea. And I still love this idea in spite of the agendas that we are about to talk about. But just be prepared that this, for a Pink Diamond Tracy McGrady, and if they made, which they did, Pink Diamond Steph Curry and Andrei Kirilenko free, that some of these agendas are going to be very difficult. And I was still okay with that. With all of that said, the Inferno promo dropped today. None of these players are currently able to be purchased from the player market. If I had to guess, they're going to be available next week when these set of agendas that you see on your screen right now come to an end. Harry, I think before I let you talk, because I really want to throw it to you, because I know you've been chomping at the bit to talk about this
Yes.
since before we even, when we were in our pre-Discord conversation, before a pre-pod Discord conversation. So I want to quickly go over a couple of these really quickly. The way this works is you have to, like I said yesterday, you need to accomplish all 10 of these agendas in 1 week to get the Tracy McGrady. And I want to also clear something else up very quickly. If you go and you buy packs, or if you just get an Amethyst from playing Clutch Time offline, like an Amethyst James Worthy, and you put them into a deluxe pack, and you pack any of these cards from the Inferno collection, just to show you guys very, very quickly, there is no completion reward for getting every player in this collection. The Pink Diamond Tracy McGrady is only earnable if you complete all the agendas. So if you get the Paolo Banchero or Banchero, however you pronounce his last name, if you get the Diamond Paolo from packs, you can't not do the 150 multiplayer steals if you want to get the Pink Diamond Tracy. You need to actually earn the Paolo Banchero from that agenda to get the Tracy. So now, to really quickly go over these agendas so I can let Harry get to his point here. You need 204 pointers with Steph Curry in clutch time. You need 15 triple doubles with AK-47, and you cannot do it in challenge mode, which is very challenging in my opinion. Doable but challenging. 150 steals in multiplayer games to get the Diamond Paolo. 200 dunks in multiplayer games to get the Diamond Clyde Drexler. You need 100 3-pointers with shooting guards in TTO to get the Diamond Tyler Hero. 150 assists with point guards only in salary cap games to get Diamond Jamal Murray. 100 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. 5 clutch time online wins for the Amethyst James Jones card, who looks very good, by the way. 5 triple threat wins for Jarris Walker. And then you need to make 5 3-pointers, and you need to make all your 3-pointers in that game to get the Amethyst Brandon Jennings. Complete all those in a week. Pink Diamond T-Mac is yours. Harry, what is your thought on the Inferno collection, the agendas? The floor is yours.
Okay, I want to preface this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. Very unpopular. This will sound like a party pooper answer. I will say one positive first. I like that there's something to do in my team. I think similar to the KG and the Hakeem, I think it's good to give us something to do in the beginning so it doesn't feel like the same thing every season. But I don't like this at all. This will sound insane. And Jan, you can disagree. This is way too much free content for everyone to have access to. It's one thing to give us pink diamonds that are like solid players to have on your team. I'm all in favor in that. But to give us some of the best cards in 2K like T-Mac and Curry, and you can get a pink diamond Larry Bird from grinding these game modes and a pink diamond Magic from getting to level 4. These are too many amazing free cards to give us. I'm okay with 2K giving us good cards, but to give us so many of these incredible cards in this season where pretty much everyone and their mom is going to have these insane cards in their lineup, I don't like that. I think it takes away like from creativity in your lineup because everyone's lineup is going to look the same. But I think that some of these cards, it's okay for these cards to be in the player market, that you can grind. This is why you play MyTeam, to get your MT, to get these cards. But it's not okay. I think to put like a T-Mac, I think you would think a T-Mac would be like a Kobe where you put him in 4 different or whatever 100 different sets that you have to do. I think that's not good. I don't like that either. These cards should be in the player market that you can buy. I think that's great, and it incentivizes you to play the game and get MT so you can get the cards. But to get all these cards for free, I don't know. I don't like that. And maybe there's more to that I can't think of the right way to put it. But I think it's just, I don't want to call it lazy, but it's like, I don't know. Like we shouldn't like. I want 2K to give us stuff to grind for, but it's like we shouldn't be getting like a LeBron-esque kind of player for free. That's just that takes away the point from getting MT and wanting to get like, if they put a T-Mac in the player market and there's no other way to get it, and he had a solid price like he does now, where it's 200 whatever K in the player market.
Yeah.
That would make me want to play my team and get more MT so I can get him. But I don't know. I just don't like it. And then the fact that you only have a week to do it, like it's just now they're just giving us free stuff to do, but they're incentivizing heart attacks because they want people playing 2K to just have a heart attack from trying to get this all done in time. It's a lot. This could have been a cool season agenda where we have all season, because some of this stuff probably will take a good chunk of the season if you're not playing this a lot. I don't know. The whole thing is just, I just don't like it. Am I crazy, Jen? Am I on a different planet for not liking that we're getting all these amazing cards for free? Like T-Mac, Curry, like, I don't know.
Well,
am I crazy?
So here's one thing I'll tell you. I appreciate your opinion. I actually did not expect that at all from you. From you.
Yeah. I don't want to be a party pooper, but I don't know. I don't want the 2K to be like, Pink Diamond, KD, and Pax. You can get him from the agenda. That's just boring. The excitement of, there should be players that you need MT to get. Like that's the whole point of saving MT and getting MT. T-Mac would have been a card. Curry would have been a card that I would have said, okay, now I want to get on my team and play. Sure. But for some reason, the fact that we get them for free, it just takes, like, I honestly, there's probably a scientific thing, like this, where, a better quality item could be for free and a worse quality item could be more money. But I feel like it's human nature to want something that's more expensive, even if it's a worse version of it, just because it's kind of on a pedestal because it's more money. That makes sense. You know what I mean?
I could definitely see that. I mean, I've also seen, for example, in this collection, I've seen a number of people come out and say that they would rather have the Amethyst James Jones because he can Curry slide and he has an elite jump shot.
Stupid. They can make all their dumb comments about the saves, but it's the same point. I
will never get that because like this James Jones card, while he looks really good, I just don't know if I could bring an 80 speed shooting guard into any online game right now. I mean, maybe that's just me. maybe that's the skill gap. Before I even share my thoughts, Harry, I want to just give a counter argument to what you're saying and then get your
Ready
thoughts
for
because I
it.
want to stick with this because I
Okay.
hear you. I think the reason why the Paul George glitch situation or exploit kind of frustrated me and the lack of what 2K did kind of frustrated me initially was, and again, this is coming from somebody who did not spend any money to buy any player from the Tissa season collection. My best card from that collection is a diamond Andre Iguodala who I got out of a deluxe pack randomly, and I thought that was amazing. But I was upset about that exploit because what happened in that situation was people got a lot of MT literally for doing nothing, literally just for being
Mhm.
awake from the hours of 3 a.m. Eastern time until 7 a.m. Eastern time. They were able to buy and quick sell Paul George as many times as they want to get as much MT as they wanted to buy any cards they wanted, and then they could even now if they didn't lock in those players, they can quick sell those players now and have MT that they can use to go out and buy T-Mac or any of these other cards next week when they're available in the player market. I have a
Yep.
bigger issue with that than what Harry's saying right now. I don't think I necessarily want to see this kind of promo every week, but the
Mhm.
reason why I'm okay with this is because 2K made a lot of these agendas very difficult. I think the number of people that are going to get all of these agendas done, Harry, all 10 of these, I mean, 150 steals in multiplayer games, you really have to, I don't want to say no life, but you have to either get very lucky and go online into a game and find somebody who's willing to throw
Mhm.
lobs and let you steal them, or you need to just basically, play online. And I feel
But
like
still, the fact that you can still get these, you can get some of the higher up cards and just focus on that, and then you could buy the lower ones from the player. I don't like. I feel like you could just do that.
no,
Like you
I
don't have
get
to get
that.
out.
I mean, I think, okay, how about if this is the only promo we get this season that is like this? Because it could be like that. I thought the Pink Diamond Chet Holmgren was the only quote unquote make right for the Paul George situation. Maybe this is the latter half of the make right where they're giving everybody the opportunity to grind for these cards. If this is the
Maybe.
only time we see a set like this with agendas like these enter my team, would that make you feel better than if they were to do this for
Yeah.
the remainder of the season?
A little, kind of, but like, I get that it's a lot to do, but this is not the rewarding content that I want. I'll give you another example that I was kind of just thinking of on the fly. I always say I hate doing this, but I do it every time. But I'm gonna compare this to Madden, and this is
Okay.
not even this Madden. I'm gonna compare it to Madden. I think it was 20 when Jan and I were playing. Was
Mm-hmm.
it 20 where we got the Lamar Jackson at the end of the year?
Yes, I'm pretty confident.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Madden gave us a Lamar Jackson for free from playing the game, and if I remember, it was like it was one of the best quarterbacks in the game. It
Yes.
had the escape. What is it? Escape. What was it called?
Oh,
Escape.
escape artist.
Escape art, all these amazing abilities and everything. But the difference was, yes, they were giving us one of the best cards for free. For even forgetting the fact that it was at the end of the year, that was a card that we were grinding from. Wasn't it from like the beginning of the game? You have to do weekly stuff, and it
Yes.
carry and you had, yes,
Yes.
exactly. I love that. If 2K said from the beginning of 2K, okay, if and they used to do that they used to do, I think it was 2K18, and they used to do this in the other 2Ks where if you did the weekly challenges every week, you would get a pink diamond whatever card at the end when it all finally added up. I love that. If they said that from the beginning, like, okay guys, pink diamond T-Mac, it's going to be one of the best cards in the game. You have to start from week 1 and kind of work your way up. That's rewarding because it takes time. It takes a lot of weeks and weeks of excitement for the card. The fact that you can this kind of excitement and rewarding where you have to do a lot of insanely tedious stuff that's just stupid, like
Yes.
getting
Yes.
150 steals and getting
That I agree.
200 dunks and all this stupid stuff. I'd rather it be a long-term booking thing where we have to spend weeks and weeks and weeks of getting this, of doing easy stuff, than doing 1 week of just insane stuff that's just like 200 4-pointers. It's like it's just uncreate. It's just stupid. It's why even if this is a make right, I don't like it. I think they could have done this where it could have been rewarding, or we would have been, doing it from the beginning. That would have been better. But I don't like this, just handing out these cards where you could do like stupid grinds to get it.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I don't want to. I can't say that they're handing it out because I think getting 200 4-pointers. See, like what I will say is I've seen YouTube videos from people saying that they should have cut all of these agendas in half. And I think if 2K was going to make this agenda or this collection free, like if you're complaining about this agenda as somebody who wants, like, I think I want to be very clear. I think Harry's complaints are in a different bucket than the people that are saying these agendas should be easier. The
Yes,
reason why I don't want them to be easier is because
that makes it worse.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so that makes it worse. That makes it like
Exactly.
more.
I don't want
Yes,
everyone having this. Like, the reason why I also love the Hakeem Olajuwon grind is because you need to really be
yes,
like
agreed,
sick in the head. I
1000%.
would not have
Yes,
gone to
yes,
Hakeem Olajuwon if I didn't have that week off from work, and I didn't like that week off I take from
yes.
work every year in December is my staycation week, and I was
Let me
actually,
interject.
yeah. I'm sorry.
Because sorry, let me interject quickly because
Sure.
that's an incredible point. It doesn't have to be a year. I'm going to counterpoint what I said. It doesn't have to be a year-long grind where this is the outcome. It could be a season where you have all season to do this. Yes, you could get the 400 or 500 clutch time offlines very quickly if you have all day and whatever. But for majority of people, casual player, it's going to take most of the season, and it did for Jan to get that card.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. If that's what they were doing for T-Mac, I would have been the most positive person for this grind. But the fact that they're throwing this away where you can get it in a week for just doing stupid challenges compared to doing a whole season where it takes weeks and weeks of excitement for an easy grind of clutch time, not easy, but like a long grind of easy stuff to do, like clutch time offline games, I'm okay with that. So I think this is like you know what I mean? I think that makes more sense to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hear you. I mean, the one thing I will say is I feel like if like I'm going to try for the Steph Curry, and I think the Steph Curry's one of the easier grinds actually to do.
Yeah.
So I
Oh
think we're
yeah.
going to probably see a number of the Steph Currys. I think the Andre Kirilenko is going to be a little bit more difficult. I've seen some people do it in triple threat offline, and I feel like if I tried this in triple threat offline and I end up with a stat line of like whatever it is, like 20 points, 10 rebounds and 9 assists, and then I end up like messing up somehow, and then the other team, the CPU, scores and I end up with that stat line, I will be so frustrated if I spend 20 minutes trying to get a triple double and that's how it goes down. So I'm going to end up trying to do it in domination because I can't do it in challenges. I'm going to try to get those two cards. I'm not going to try for any of these others, and as I mentioned, you can't bypass these agendas by getting these players in packs. So if you want to get T-Mac for free, you need to complete all of these. And one thing I am not going to do is go online, put in my mic, and beg for someone to try and do steals with me. I'm just not going to do that. It's not that serious. I don't care. And also, like that Tracy McGrady card, yes, he looks very good, but he's not like elite. Okay, well, you know what? I'm sorry. He's elite, but I think we're going to be getting better shooting guards later on down the road. I didn't think we were going to be getting T Mac this early, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna put in all this effort for this, and like this is not a grind that I'm going to enjoy. I enjoyed the Hakeem grind because I was making a lot of MT while I was doing it. If I'm sitting in one or two games trying to get 4 pointers and triple doubles, like like I'm gonna play domination this season because I want to. When I get those XP coins, I think at level 7 you get a bunch of 1 hour XP coins if you have the Pro Pass. I'm gonna play domination and I'm gonna try to get triple doubles, but I'm also not gonna go crazy if I don't get them.
Wait a minute. So it's hitting me now. So it's not, you can't like, let's say only get the pink diamonds, then buy the diamonds later and get T-Mac. You have to get all of them from the agendas.
Correct. I mean, I
Okay, then
went.
that's even worse because then it's either buy the card with MT and spend money or induce heart attacks and anxiety of trying to get this done in a week where that's the only thing that's stupid. Yeah, I don't like this at all.
No, see, well, to me, the reason why I kind of like it is because again, I don't think they're gonna do this with every single promo. I think that would be kind of stupid if they did. But I like it because you can kind of pick and choose who you want to chase. I think if you're a smart player in this game, if you don't have a lot of free time, I mean, if you have a lot of free time and you want to chase this, more power to you. But to me, if you want to go and you don't have a lot of time, if you want to go into these agendas and you want to tackle a few of them because you don't have a lot of free time, like me, I am gonna focus in on I'm not gonna do any of the diamonds more than likely because I'm not gonna use the Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
For me, you look at all these agendas and the Bucks stops at 150 steals over multiplayer games. I don't think I'm gonna get 150 steals over all my multiplayer games in 2K24. That's just not gonna happen.
But here's the thing. Like, I get that you're being positive, and I respect that. Saying like, and you can be positive and say, okay, like you get to have Curry, but giving us all this stuff to do in a week, like that's not logical. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
it's
that's
crazy.
not.
It's
That's
crazy,
like
but like if you think
just
about it, like the Hakeem grind was also relatively crazy.
No,
This
it
is
is, but
probably
you had all season to do it, and
no,
it's like
I know.
which is so you can it's like you had a week off of work, so you were like, all right, I'm gonna spend that time catching up on this
Yes.
instead of having a week where you have no this is the week you do it. So it's either you spend money or they make it like practically impossible to get it in a week. And so I hate that. I hate that we can get these cards for free in such a short period of time. Like I hate all of this.
Yes.
It's like
No, I mean, look, I totally get it. I think this is a very polarizing thing that 2K brought, and I think this discussion that you and I are having is it's the epitome of that. We're getting to see. I mean, I think there are multiple, and there are other sides of this argument that were not covered in this discussion that we just had that are also viable. I just think it is what it is. I think that to me, I don't want to see this happen every single week. I don't think we're gonna get this every single week. I mean, I feel like if anything, agendas like these, if they're gonna make these players free for us to get, all this tells me, in my opinion, is that we're gonna maybe see Galaxy Opals by All Star Weekend. I could see
oh
that.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and then if that happens, then all the cards that we're grinding for, not that they're gonna become irrelevant, but we're
It's
gonna be
just weird
fast tracked.
pacing. It's just
Yes.
weird pacing. I
It
don't
is. It is. I mean, again, I like the idea of being able to grind for content because in week one, or season one, we had all those promos like new face, different place, or whatever it was called. We had promos that we could grind for, and I said that as the seasons go on in my team, agendas like that are not going to be as feasible because we're going to be getting very powerful cards in this game mode that are going to have a lot of value. Not that us getting like Ruby Chris Paul wasn't that valuable, but like I think getting a Pink Diamond Steph Curry now in the right hands, that Curry card is going to be really good. Like if Harry gets that Pink Diamond Steph Curry, he's so good at dribbling in this game. He could be really good with that Steph Curry, you know, until
Yeah,
a month
yeah.
after Galaxy Opals are out.
That's the
So
thing. I'm happy. Like I'm happy to get the curry. I just don't like the process. But also, let me bring up one more thing. And maybe
sure.
this is a stupid like comment, but do you think maybe that this is not even like a make right, but this is more of just like 2K is like, all right, we're just gonna like people exploited this Paul George thing. They were able to get the best cards in the game. They were able to get Kobe, all these different cards. Do you think 2K is like, all right, then fine, we're just gonna skip Pink Diamonds. We're gonna go to Galaxy Opal so we can like outmaneuver these people who have now insane Pink Diamonds on their team. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know
Like
what?
they're
One thing I'll say, Harry, and I don't know if I mentioned this in a video a couple weeks ago or not, but I think I meant to, and hopefully I did. I mentioned, I think, that once that glitch happened, or once that exploit happened, that I would not have been shocked that once the MyTeam, or the 2K team, because they were all out through the week after New Year's, that they were going to come back and they were going to maybe ramp up the pacing,
But yeah,
and
this is like insane. They're just skipping Pink Diamond. I think you're right. I think that's why they're giving us T Mac and Curry there because they don't have they in their minds they're not gonna wait to give these cards in packs and sets. They're just skipping this and just giving it to us.
well, I mean,
We're,
I still think so. These cards, I think, are going to be in packs
I know,
next
but you know what I
week,
mean though. We
or in the
like
player market next week.
we just started getting Pink Diamonds and now we're getting T Mac and Curry the best. It was not like this for Diamonds. They like waited a
Yeah.
lot. You know what I mean?
Which is also
This
one thing I will say really quickly, and then I do want to move on because I don't want to spend too much time on the Inferno
okay. I'm
arsenal.
sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I think this is the most polarizing thing. I thought this was the one thing that you and I were going to have the longest conversation on. One thing I
Yeah.
really like is that this, and I think you can hopefully agree on this, is I think maybe one of the few times that my team is giving us a couple of big names, right? Tracy McGrady, Steph Curry, in cards that are not locked behind a lock-in, which I really like. Like,
Well, that's
if
my
you
point.
want
I
Steph
think they're
Curry
just
next
skipping
week, you
that.
can go and spend 210k MT and go buy him. You know?
Yeah.
So that I really like. I hear all your points. I don't want to say that I disagree because I think your points are valuable, and I think like I'm sharing my opinion based off of what like how it's gonna be for me over the next week. Like I'm confident that I'll be able to get the Steph Curry agenda done, and I'm hoping to be able to get the Andrei Kirilenko agenda done. But they're very difficult agendas. I expected them to be very difficult agendas. But I kind of like that we have this in the game. I don't know if I would
Yeah.
love it if we have this every week. That's I think all I'm gonna
I think
say.
it's just that 2K does so little of this that you're just happy we're getting something. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. I think that's what it is too. Are you cool if we move on though to the rest of the blog? Would you be okay with that?
No, I think we need to spend 20 more minutes on. No, I'm kidding. Keep going.
Okay. I'm going to skip the season 4 regular pass rewards. Outside of, if you
Yeah.
want to talk about, do you care at all about, or do you
No.
want to talk about the
Just
Pink Diamond Magic for level 40?
yeah, it's just another thing. Like I love them. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep complaining. It's just Magic is I think an S tier point guard, and they're just giving it, especially with the Magic dribble style that's so OP. Yes, they might have patched it. It's still OP. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. But they're just giving us all like Carmelo. I was gonna go back to that. Carmelo, Magic, Larry Bird, Curry. It's just I don't like that. It's like it's just it's too easy. That's what it's. Everything is just too easy.
All right, I totally get that. I don't really have like, I'm
Keep it
not
going.
passionate. I just, what I will say, it's very funny to me that like I hear you, and I'm like very uneducated when it comes to like the state of, like dribbling and SIGs. Like, I've always liked using Magic Johnson, since NBA 2K16. When the auction
Yeah.
house let us buy cards that were like 1,000,000 coins back then. And like you could list cards for buy now up to 1,000,000, and then anything up past that you would bid. And I used to love to run Magic because I could just go into the post and then play make from that position, which is awesome. I've seen a lot of people say that this Magic Johnson card is mid at best, and
All
even
right.
though he's really tall and really fast and has a really good 3-pointer and stuff like that, that this card is just nothing special. Which I
You notice every card is like that because these 2K people think they're so smart and every card is ass. You know what I mean? Every
Yeah,
card.
I don't get that. Like,
What card is good? What card has come out that people are
yeah.
like this card? Every card is bad because people like to think they're these 2K like nerds that the Sigs and crossover 9 is sucked. It's like come on, just like
Yeah, like
it's
even like with like the Pink Diamond Hakeem, people complained right when Hakeem came out, and then I saw a couple of people on Twitter put these really nice mixtapes together of them cooking people in the post, of them like just like using the card. Like, not every single card that comes out needs to have the glitchiest dribble style, the best jump
yep.
shot. Like, if that's what you want, then just buy my team in June and go buy
Yes,
fucking endgame
yeah,
cards.
exactly. We play the
I
game at the
hate
end of the
that.
year.
I
Yes,
hate that
yes,
logic so much because it's,
yeah.
again, respectfully, if you're one of those people, respectfully, it's people like you that's why my team has degenerated into what it's become now. Like, when I used
Yep.
to play my team during the innocence of my team, and granted, a lot of the blame also does fall on the people behind my team, like Tay2, whatever, the people that know that, like, okay, we're gonna be able to put in players with unrealistic ratings, and people are gonna want to go and buy them because, like, oh, we're gonna give Bol 90 speed, 93 pointer, whereas like Bol, like, he's like Bol's been on like every single team in the NBA because he's not
Yeah,
good,
yeah. Oh
like,
my god. And you know what's so annoying? The worst part? It's fine to say the SIGs are bad. Oh, but what pisses me off is when they say Larry or whatever, so and so needs a new jumper. Like they need a base like Larry Bird needs base Curry jump shot. Like that's just not what
no.
game this is not this is my team. This is 2K. Why do you want cards that have different releases than it's how they played in real life? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like come on, just let Larry Bird has his jump shot. If you don't like that jump shot, Larry Bird might not be for you.
Yeah.
Like oh my god. Yeah.
And it's still early. Like, I get it. Like, 2K, I feel like from what I've read online, 2K historically tends to change SIGs and animations after the All-Star game. And, it is what it is. For me, that's still too early, but I at
Yeah.
least like that they at least try and keep all the players' SIGs, respective to what their play now build is, and then they just make
Mhm.
their stats or their ratings better. I'm cool with that. But
We're gonna be getting to soon. It'll be like Curry's gonna be like 7 foot in 2K. I promise you, that's the direction that they're gonna eventually get into.
yeah, we're gonna get a Super Mario collection where every
Yeah,
single short
yeah,
point guard is like, so we're gonna have a 7'5" Muggsy Bogues. Just get ready.
oh my god.
Um,
Suddenly, Chris Paul becomes like the best card in the game.
One thing we're not gonna have to really talk about this at all, but I mentioned this in a couple of videos before. One of the big things that I actually liked about season 3, and I talked about it a lot, didn't mention it in my grading, is the fact that Triple Threat Offline and Clutch Time Offline had the door mini game. As of right now, the only game this season that's going to have the door mini game is Clutch Time Online, which I'm okay with. I think the door mini game should be in at least 2 game modes a season, ideally 1 online, 1 offline. But if not, make it 2 online. Like, Unlimited this season has a wheel spin. I think Unlimited should have the door game, because if you're gonna
Yeah.
play an unlimited game, you should be rewarded with the best mini game, in my opinion. Moving on, because I know you agree with me on that.
Yeah.
We have an event, and I think this event lasts the entire season. For Pink Diamond Thurl Bailey, starting this week, if you get excuse me, 20 unlimited wins, and it does not have to be consecutive wins. You get Pink Diamond Thurl Bailey and route to getting Thurl Bailey. You get Ruby Tim Duncan's coach card for 3 wins, a Diamond Shoe Pack for 7 wins, and then Amethyst Jamal Mosley coach card for 12 wins. I don't know how good those coach cards are. Maybe I'll look at them while I throw it over to Harry. I mean, Harry, I think, and we're gonna be getting events like this for every game mode, and by that I mean Triple Threat offline, Clutch Time online, TT online, Clutch Time offline, and Triple Threat online co-op. We're going to be getting a Pink Diamond reward card for every one of those game modes. I think this is great. Harry, what are your thoughts?
I love this. If this is the one thing I'm going to be so positive about. I think it's great that they're doing this one in every game mode. This is what I need that breathes life into 2K every week or 2 weeks, whatever it is. Every game mode will get its spotlight where you can grind. I love that this fixes the two major complaints of the Gauntlet. One, you don't need to go undefeated, whatever. You can just get your 20 wins. You don't have to go 20-0. And two, there's stuff along the way. So if you don't get 20-0, you go 15-0, you still get decent rewards. It might not be as good as the main reward, but at least there's something that rewards you. So I think this is awesome. This to me is so much better than even the Hakeem and stuff. This is stuff that we'll be able to do all season. Jan and I were just talking about how we were excited for co-op, so we could do that together. I think this is awesome. This is what 2K needs every season.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, this is something that's going to be exciting. I like that. It feels like stuff like this shows me that 2K maybe is listening to the community, whether it's feedback from the surveys or from Twitter or YouTube videos or whatever. Because I mean, if you remember, Harry, we spoke about when the TT Online 15 wins in a row gauntlet dropped for Chris Bosch. I think both of us kind of agreed that it would have been kind of nice if you're going to keep it as 15 wins in a row, maybe give us rewards for like 5 wins and 10 wins. Maybe make it like either different tiers of Chris Bosch or different cards or different, rewards. Just give us something where, like, if our run for Chris Bosch ends at 12 wins, well, at least we got something along the way. Like, sometimes if you don't make it to your final destination, it's not about that destination, it's about the friends you make along the way. If you're playing TT Online, you're not making any friends along the way. If you don't get to that 15 win mark, you were pretty upset. And we get that in a way through this, where you're not really playing and trying to get 20 wins in a row. You're getting 20 unlimited wins. I mean, you could argue that, 20 unlimited wins compared to 12 wins in a row in unlimited, and then you compare the rewards. Pink Diamond Thurl Bailey, who looks for all intents and purposes like a really good power forward, small forward card, compared to the Diamond Lamar Odom, who's kind of mid on release. I think this is fantastic.
Yeah. This alongside with just the game modes to grind for the Larry Bird.
Yeah.
This is what
why don't we talk about that next? Before we get to Larry Bird, because I think Larry Bird is like the creme de la creme. We have a Michael Red card, and you can pick what game mode you want to play, and it seems really nice. I mean, you can get either 5,000 points in Unlimited, 50 wins in Clutch Time Offline, 50 wins in Clutch Time Online, 100 TT offline wins, 50 TT online wins, or 50 TT co-op wins. I mean, the Michael Red, even if he's not great, I think that's nice. And then really quick before I throw it to you, Harry, for the Pink Diamond Larry Bird, as I mentioned in the video yesterday, he's like a Hakeem light. If you want to just look at the game mode that I played, Clutch Time Offline, I needed 500 wins for Hakeem. It's only 400 now for the Pink Diamond Larry Bird. Harry, what are your thoughts on the grinds for these two cards?
Okay, so I have a positive and a weird negative, and this it's not going to be a negative to complain. I love this. I think it's great. I love the idea that you can get the red from just any game mode you want. That's the grind, instead of just having to complete each game mode for a bad reward.
Yeah,
and
same
then
with Bird.
If you specialize in it, you get the bird. I love this as an idea. I wish we got this every season. What I don't like, and this is just an overarching MyTeam complaint, and this is not only this correlates to not only every season in MyTeam, but every game, 2K18, 2K19, 2K20, whatever it is. There is zero continuity in MyTeam whatsoever. This MyTeam is completely different from next year's MyTeam. Every season is completely different than the season before. It's like I really like Takeem, and maybe we don't ever see that again. I really love this. We might not ever see it again. I just wish there was continuity where, like, this season, with forgetting about the stupid Inferno stuff that I don't like, the whole specializing, you get the layer, you play any game mode you want, you get the red, the whole every week each game mode gets a spotlight where you can get a certain amount of wins. The two things we just mentioned are incredible. If it was like that every season, my team would be incredible, and we would be so positive and so excited to play. Like, I just don't like that. Like, there's no hope that this will be like this next season. It's gonna be completely. I just wish they just stick to something, so we just know what's going on. I don't like that. It's every season it's something new, and every 2K it's gonna be something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
mean,
oh,
I
but
I get
I
that.
love this overall. Like, I think this is a great idea, and if we got this every season and they don't change it, I think that my team could be in an incredible spot where we have stuff to look forward to every week.
Yeah, I totally I agree with that. I mean, the one thing I will say is I think just from what I've learned from my team this season, because to your point, I feel like they're just consistent in being inconsistent when it comes to what we're going to get season to
Yeah.
season, and I feel like a lot of what they do is reactionary. Like they do a lot of emergency maintenance and not a lot of preventative maintenance. So what we tend to see is I feel like a lot of stuff that comes out that isn't pre-planned. It's just in reaction to something that happened. I feel like what we got in the season to start I mean, again, we have no proof. I have no proof to back up this claim at all. But I just gut instinct. I feel like 2K, with the start of this season, they're kind of doing this in a way. I think not just to a reaction to the Paul George situation, but I think in general. I think last season, I mean, if you look at Harry really stopped playing my team last season, and I think there are a good number of people that probably just stopped playing my team last season. I mean, I've seen a number of I don't know if I want to call them relatively prominent YouTubers, but YouTubers who I think had a relatively solid following on, on YouTube, who just stopped uploading. And some of them said why, others they did not say why, and they just stopped playing in season 3. And I think that's because, to Harry's point, what is there to grind?
Yeah.
The event for Kobe wasn't an event. You at best you're getting amethyst cards, unless you really spent any money, you weren't going to get Kobe. Unless you got lucky with the exchange packs or you spent MT on packs and you got lucky, you really weren't going to be adding quality players to your team through that event. And I think that dissuaded a lot of players. This, I think, was 2K's way of trying to get players to come back. And, I feel like, at least with the blog and some of the rewards that we are getting, to Harry's point, yeah, we're getting a lot of players that you can grind that, maybe we wouldn't see in previous 2Ks. Maybe it is too much. I don't really know, but I know that I think based off what we're getting and based off of the interaction that I've seen on Twitter, I think a lot of people they are very excited to come back. But to your point, Harry, I feel like instead of me worrying about what's going to happen next season, I'm just trying to embrace whatever we get this
Yeah,
season.
exactly. But do you agree that, like, if this season was a carbon copy of every season, I feel like my team would be doing the best it's ever had, because this is great, these couple topics that we talked about, but I guarantee you this will be completely different next season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just so,
absolutely.
it's like they flip a coin. But this is great. I love this.
Now, the last thing, and it's actually one smaller point here. We have, when we get the season update, and then they give us like the schedule, we've been getting daily agendas for every single season. And to your point, Harry, all of a sudden, the daily agendas, and I will say the daily agendas that we've been getting have been for cars that are pretty irrelevant, but it was kind of nice to just like add a car to my collection because I don't open packs. The only two things that we're getting that they've mentioned from now until next Friday, because I guess this agenda they expect to carry us until the end of next week, are on Monday we're getting a new gauntlet, which to me is interesting because they didn't mention what game mode it's going to be available in. It's for Pink Diamond, Roy Hibbert, which I think is kind of interesting and also kind of funny because I think season 3 was the season of centers, and now we're getting a Roy Hibbert, another center. Curious to see what that's going to be about, and then we're going to be getting breakout players again with, that's a new collection coming to my team on Wednesday. Harry, do you have any thoughts about the Pink Diamond Hibbert that we're getting via the gauntlet, and what game mode do you think he's going to be in? Because if I had to guess, I would not be shocked if they made him an offline gauntlet.
Yeah, for a Roy Hibbert, it could be. I feel like what they should do is I love, like I said, I love that what they're doing for the 20 wins you get, whatever the card is for each game mode. Those I think should be like I think it would be awesome if like we get that every week, and that's like not a mid-tier card, but it's a solid card. And then you do the gauntlet, even if they do it every week or every other week, for an amazing card where you really, I'm fine, because if you want to keep the idea where you can go 12-0 or you have to go 15-0, and you do that and you do the 20 wins where you get something else and you don't have to go undefeated. I think that's the best of both worlds, where you satisfy the comp players and you satisfy the casual players. Like, I think that's what they should do. But yeah, I can see it offline, because no one in their right mindset is doing anything online where they have to go undefeated for a Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen either. I think with the pure number of centers that we got in my team, I just don't think that's gonna happen. Um, I don't think they're gonna make it an online grind. And I think with that, that's all we have as of right now. Um, for season four. We do this every single pod that we do when we're previewing a season, Harry. I wanted to remind you, I think your last two season previews or the last two season grades that you gave on day one of that season were very, very low.
Mm.
I know that you had a lot of criticism about this season, namely with the agendas for the Inferno collection. And maybe I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. Do
I'm
you
gonna.
have, from a
I
scale
do.
of 1 to 10, or I guess 0 to 10, or I guess
Actually,
negative 1 to 10?
I want to give it a letter grade.
Okay, okay. Give me a letter
I'm gonna
grade A to F. Your
I'm gonna
level of
shock
hype for this season.
I'm gonna shock the world. Okay,
I'm ready.
are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I preface, I hate the Inferno idea, but it's such a minor rock in the sand. I'm gonna put that aside. I'm going to give this season, for the first time ever in a content review, I'm giving this an A. Let me tell
No way. What?
let me explain this. And towards the end when we started getting into stuff I liked, I think it really hit me. This is my team. Forget the Inferno. I'm just not even gonna look at it. I'm throwing that into the rearview mirror. Everything we just talked about in the last 10, 15 minutes, this is my team I have always envisioned, where forget these stupid rewards that you get for beating each game mode. I love the idea you get the one reward if you want to do each, the red for beating any of the normal game modes up to the certain amount of wins, specializing it, a specific mode, not beating every mode, specializing one mode and getting the Larry Bird, doing these things I don't know if it's every week, but every so often, where each game mode is going to get spotlighted, clutch time offline, co-op. This week it's unlimited, where you have to get your 20 wins for a player, and each map along the way you can get rewards. This is perfect. I'm going to throw out the P word. It is perfect. This
Wow.
is what my team could be like every season, where you have stuff to look. There's so much to do that's extra rewarding. It's not obsessively dumb where you have to beat every game mode and it's so stupid and it's so repetitive, where every season it's the same thing every time. This is great. You can get these rewards. You can special. If you don't want the Larry Bird, you don't have to specialize. You can take the reward, the red. But if you want to specialize it, you can do that. And then if you want, what's the player again for 20 wins? Remind me again for
The Thurl
unlimited.
Bailey.
Yes, if you want the Thorough Bailey, do it. I think that's awesome. Even if you don't, it's stress free. 20 wins, you could lose along the way. Beautiful. They're gonna do that for every game mode. This could be my team every season. I think this would draw people in. It's exciting. Perfect. This is what I think I've imagined for 2K all these years. So we're forgetting about the Inferno. I'm looking at these two things. I think this is the best season ever, and I think if my team was like this every season from season 1 up until the end, this would have been the best my team ever, even with this awful player market.
I'm very shocked. I did not expect that. I think I'm honestly more shocked that you gave it an A than your take with the Inferno. Just I did not see that coming.
This
I
is a
will
podcast
say
of hot takes.
you know what? I just can't. You know what
You don't have to give it an A plus because I'm not, but I think this is a solid A. It could get better, it could get worse, but I will never give. I agree with you. I'm never going to make anything perfect because there's always room for improvement. But I think you have to. I think this is an A. If you compare this to any season we've gotten, nothing compares to this. This is perfect.
I mean
perfect,
it's really
yeah.
nice. It's really
Yeah.
nice. I will say I will give it an A minus just
Yeah.
because I really like the season. Like an A minus is not a bad grade. It'll sound like a bad grade compared to Harry, but if you factor in all things, the first and foremost the Pro Pass reward being the pink diamond Carmelo Anthony, who you see that I'm shooting with on screen right now. That's a W. I love Melo. I think he's gonna be a really fun card. I think Harry and I are both more bullish on the Larry Bird than the majority of the community, who are complaining that his release timing should be changed and his sig should be changed. I like Larry Bird a lot. I'm gonna hopefully try to grind for him. That's my hope. The Inferno collection, I think the agendas are crazy, but I like that we're able to grind for the first week of the first agenda, or sorry, the first promo in the first week of season 4. I kind of like that we have that. I don't expect that to be the norm. If it is the norm, we'll see how my grade will change. And I like that it feels like we have stuff to grind for, right? To Harry's point, why am I gonna boot up my team today? And now you can say, like, when the Hakeem grind was out, I had that that grind, and I enjoyed the journey almost as much as I enjoyed getting Hakeem itself or himself. And I'm gonna probably feel the same way about Larry Bird. I mean, even though I'm not going to be getting the door minigame, now I'm stuck with a damn ball drop. But I was telling Harry earlier, I was getting, even though I never got him, I had Amethyst. Oh, I'm blanking on his name. Oh my god, the Amethyst from the ball drop. I was having him. I'm gonna back out and look at his name right now. He was available to me like 3 different times, and I was not able to get him any of the times. James Worthy. I had him on my ball drop board a few times, and if you get him, the exchange now for the deluxe packs for the Inferno are either 1 amethyst or 1 diamond. So I already have James Worthy. So if I get him, then I can exchange him for a deluxe pack and get another amethyst. So that's really cool. So there's a lot to do right now, which is really nice, at least in this first week. I want to see 2K give us more grinds, and hopefully it's not just making all the players in every collection free for a week. But then we have to grind for them and do insane grinds because like I'm just telling you right now, I think a lot of people are not going to want to do this grind. There are not going to be very many people that have the T-Mac this week unless they pull them out of a pack. I think more people are going to have if you were to look at every person that has T-Mac from now until next Thursday, the day before we get these cards in the player market, I think the majority of people that have T-Mac would have gotten them from a pack than they would have from the agendas. And I think that's okay, personally. I think if it flips and we see more and more people get it from the agendas than from packs, then I may be leaning more on Harry's side, where it's like you're making these agendas too easy. I don't want everyone to have Tracy McGrady. Not everyone's gonna have Hakeem because Hakeem was a really hard grind, and I think this grind is also really hard for for you to get the T Mac. Like I think the AK-47 is probably the best card from this collection to get. That'll give you the most longevity because he's gonna be a lockdown defender. But besides that, the Curry's gonna be a fun card. I don't think he's gonna be an end game. He's still a 6'3" point guard who's not going to be great on defense. So I'll give it an A minus. I'm really excited. I will say that this season is arguably, I mean, it's definitely the best season, I think, of my team this year, at least on day one, based off of what they have laid for us here. The groundwork of the season is much more flushed out.
That's what I'm saying. I think like this is not normally when I give grades, if I give 2K a higher grade ever, it's always in 2K terms. Like this is an A for 2K. I think this is an A for like an ultimate team mode. I think if Madden had this outlook, I would have still said the same thing, even with Madden's like I think this is good. This is stuff that's great for all season.
I mean, people have come out on Twitter, Harry, and said that this is the best season that my team has put out in like 18 plus months. Which I would not be shocked.
Next season, it's gonna be. I guarantee you. How much you want to bet next season? I'm gonna destroy 2K. It's gonna be some stupid thing, completely different than this. I'm ready for it.
Oh, definitely. I think that's what I would expect.
My team is like it's like taking LSD. It's like you're just in it for the roller coaster. You have no idea where the ups and downs are. It's not stable whatsoever. This is great. This is like the peak of our LSD trip, and I already know next season we're going downhill. We're gonna hit, what do they call it? The freaking not the downs. What do they call it? I know
the low, I guess. I don't even know.
Maybe there's like a word for
Harry and I are both straight edge. We're like CM Punk, so we don't really do these things. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I guess if I don't have any other closing remarks. I think we kind of covered it all there. Is there anything else that you want to add, Harry, to our conversation?
No, but this, I think, similar to season 3, this was bipolar of a video. I went from positive to negative, and we're ending this happy. I'm smiling. And I think we just gotta hope 2K will just do this. It really just comes down to what these idiots Jan and I, we're very smart people, but as we talked about before, most of these people who play this game on Twitter, they're just morons. And the people who think that Hakeem should have Curry base with KD, floater, whatever the fuck. These people are going to hate on this. I already know it. And then 2K, they're going to do something different. It's like we just need rational people to look back and be like me and say, and be unbiased and say, this is fine, this is good, and let's be positive and be happy. And yeah, so let's just hope the 2K, it's really, the ball is in the 2K community's court. It's like this is why, as they say, the kids don't get nice things, because I really hope they don't shit on this so we don't get this again. Just like they shit on the Hakeem thing. Everyone shit. I said it to you right before this. And I'm happy with this. I think this is better than Hakeem, but I said it to you before this. I was like, I like the idea and people hate it on, so we're not going to get it again. And people are going to hate on this. They're going to find some reason and we're not going to get this again. So it's like, I hate them already negative, but it's like, I already know. Just enjoy season 4 while it lasts, because we're not getting this again.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we saw people complain about the Hakeem
Yeah.
grind, and then people ended up doing it. I mean, I was one of those people. I complained about it, and I ended up doing it. But instead of being like the people that are complaining about these grinds again, I'm just cool with the grinds. Like the Larry Bird grind, I'm cool with it. Even this Inferno grind, like, I have a different expectation. I'm not coming into these agendas thinking I'm gonna get Pink Diamond T-Mac. I'm thinking I'm gonna get Steph Curry, and I hope to get AK-47 and maybe some of the Amethyst because those are really easy agendas to accomplish. Everything else I'm probably not gonna get. I'm not gonna play
You,
any of the game
you know,
modes. Like,
I really
will I
just, I
play?
really just. Oh, sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. You keep going. Finish
No,
your
all I
thought.
was gonna say, like, to close out that statement was, am I gonna play salary cap from now and and next Friday? Maybe, but am I gonna try for 150 assists? Hell no. I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
that.
And
No.
now I was gonna say, I think it really, like I said, it comes down to we desperately need someone on my team, like who's like someone like in Madden who's gonna be active on Twitter and listen to us, not just some random 2K people that are just
Yeah,
gonna
community
casually see that
manager.
people are, yeah, because this is like kids gone wild with this community where people are just hate on stuff, and then they just, all right, people don't like it, let's not do this again. Like we need someone that's actually like rational to hear specific complaints and not just say, all right, like like I don't know. I feel like so many people got Hakeem or KG. So wouldn't that have told you that maybe this is a good thing, even if people complain? Like, and again, I like this more, but I already see this that a lot of people are going to get the Thurl Bailey, and a lot of people are going to get the Larry and all these things, and 2K will not look at that. They're just going to look at complaints. So it's I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the season. I pray that this is something that we get more and more in every season.
No, me too. I mean, again, really good start. 2K, I'm Harry and I are, going to be the first to give you, criticism when you do things that we don't
And
like, and I think
yeah, the first to be positive. We're the first to do. I think we're the most unbiased people when it comes to this.
yeah, which I think is fair and I think is healthy for the game, and I think for that reason, 2K, with what you've done with, your My Team Season 4, at least on day one, as of this recording, you deserve your flowers. So we will give you your flowers today, but just be ready because those flowers will
Not in
wilt
season
in a couple
four.
of weeks,
Yeah,
and we will be ready to pounce on you if you do shit that we don't like. So
that's
don't
right.
piss us off because we're probably
Eh,
more positive on this season than the majority of the community after seeing those agendas today. So, you
and
know.
listen, I'll quit anytime. I quit season 3. I'll quit season 4. I'll be honest. If it wasn't for Jan and not even doing these podcasts, but having someone to talk to about this game, I maybe would have quit earlier. But it's fun just having these talks, and Jan keeps me going in
That's
2K.
right.
So
Yes, 2K pay me. I'm keeping the community together. That's what I'm doing right now.
you really are.
No, this
All
is
right.
awesome. Harry, shout out to you. This is, I think, one of our most fun podcasts ever. Maybe because we didn't necessarily agree on a particular topic, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
but I think this is great. I really hope that we can do these more often. I know that, your schedule's really, really busy. Obviously, naturally, you're in college. And I'm busy as well with work. But hopefully we can do this more often. Do you have anything else to say before we wrap this up?
Nope, this was, yeah, I know, I agree. This was such a fun pod. Like, even if there were some negatives, I think, because I think Jan and I, we mostly agree on everything. It's like you're talking, not that it's like talking to like a mirror, but it's like when did we never not that we disagreed on this, but I think this was the first time we had different takes. And I saw Jan's points with everything, and he saw my points, and and none of us had bad arguments. So I think that's what made this fun, that we had different takes, and also that we didn't speak about this before. Like I honestly, I purposely waited to listen to your video yesterday after this podcast because I wanted to go into this not knowing what your thoughts were. So
I appreciate that.
yeah,
I
this
appreciate
was
that.
enjoyable.
Yeah, no, this was great. This was great. I mean, I think there's a way to have productive conversation and healthy debate. And I will say that I was happy that if you were gonna disagree with me, I'm happy that you disagreed with me not because you thought that the agendas were too difficult and that they should have been much easier so that
No, no,
everyone
no,
could have gotten them. I
that
like
would have been
that you
worse.
feel like we shouldn't be getting these agendas at all, which I think is a very unpopular take, but I think it's one that's worth being told. I
Right?
think it's very
Yeah.
valid.
I feel like it's like we shouldn't be getting this at all. This should be a long-term thing, like even a season where we have to do this. Because even if they are going to do this, I feel like it's more of just a slap in the face to people who want to get this because it's such an egregious. I don't like it. Shouldn't be easier, but you know what I mean. So no matter what, it's just I don't like it. But yeah, I'm glad that we have stuff to do. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's very, very well said. With that said, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I really enjoyed doing this pod with Harry, and I'm sure he feels the same. We'll hopefully see you guys, in a joint production very soon, whether it's us playing a friendly in my team together. I did promise Harry that we're gonna play some more rec this season. That will be happening. We've had some really fun games on rec in season 2, I want to say, maybe early on in season 3, and I want to hopefully bring more of that, more of those shenanigans onto YouTube, so you guys can see just what kind of foolishness we're getting ourselves into when we're playing online. But until
Well,
then,
so
go
let me
ahead,
add
sir.
one more point. Let me cut your ending off. It's the come down. It just came to me. The drug use. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's like it taking LSD. The come down at the end is season 4. We're at the peak right now. We're hitting the slopes, and then season 4 will just be the ultimate come down.
That's right. We were
So
hoping to be on that rise, on that come up the whole way, and we'll hopefully not hit that come down until season 5. We'll
let's
have
do
to
it.
see.
Let's season
Uh,
5. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, because that's when it's gonna have to happen, and then it is what it is. But if you want to hear our thoughts for that, tune in then. We'll see you in 6 weeks. Until then, we appreciate you guys. Harry, once again, thank you, man. And until next time, I'll see you later.